Hi everybody, it's Ashley of Day to Day Social Work. I am a private online tutor and I specialize in assisting people to pass the license exam for social work on the master's and bachelor's level. And this is the official 2018 tutoring video. So please make sure that you will listen to this video in its entirety or either read the entire website tutoring tab. And that website is daytodaysocialwork.wix.com/my-site. And again, click on the tutoring tab. I will assume that you have read everything on the tutoring tab or that you have listened to this entire video. So please make sure you do that before you ask any questions, because everything that you need to know is here. But if you do have any additional questions, you can always contact me via email or on the website or in the comments section on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Day to Day Social Work. So I just wanted to give an update video to post on the website so that you will know what to expect from tutoring. And I did one for last year, so I'm doing one for 2018 just to make sure that everyone is clear about tutoring and how it works. So I will be reading from the website directly, and I will also be reading from notes that I did make this time. If anything changes throughout 2018 with tutoring, please refer to the website, as it will be it will hold priority over this video, because this will be posted, and if any updates are made, I can easily change the website. But whatever is on the website will hold firm over the video. So tutoring is generally held Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings after 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are no specific time frames, just because from tutoring last year, I just felt like just saying 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I will probably start tutoring at the earliest, and then times can be arranged after that, because some people can meet at 6:15 instead of 6:30, or 7:45 instead of 7:15, or whatever. So it's just best to say that tutoring will start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and is generally held Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings. I do not tutor on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, unless we have discussed in advance those days and set up a time for those days. That is not generally what happens. I like to have my weekends to myself and my Mondays to myself, but if I'm not doing anything and I'm not overwhelmed with stuff, then I will make exceptions, especially if your exam is coming up quicker than you found me. So a lot of people find me like a week before their exam, and then sometimes, I just make it happen on the weekend if they can get that 1 or 2 sessions in. So all times are Eastern Standard. Please, please, please understand that I am in South Carolina, Eastern Standard Time. When we confirm times and days, please understand that and make sure that your time zone matches up with mine and that we're on the same page, because that's normally not an issue, but it has been an issue a couple times, maybe twice before this past year. So make sure that we understand and are on the same page with time. Please do not pay for any sessions until you have confirmation from me about your scheduled time. I've had people to pay on my Venmo account because it is listed on the website. Please don't go and pay for sessions without being confirmed with me first, because I know my schedule, and I don't like for people to pay for 3 sessions and then I feel obligated to get them in at certain times. So everything is pay as you go. There's no obligation to buy 4 sessions and all this other stuff. It's traditional one-on-one tutoring. You pay as you go. If you meet with me once and you don't feel like I'm helpful for you, then you don't have to book again. There's no obligation or no package deal or anything like that. This is just traditional one-on-one tutoring. Your payment is due at least 1 day before your scheduled session. No payments will be taken the day of the session, because that puts me on hold and I could put somebody else in that spot, and it's just way too many people needing to be tutored and that kind of thing. So make sure that you have paid for your session at least the day before the scheduled session. I do a courtesy invoice 2 days prior to the session, so that is a courtesy. It's not guaranteed, although I I don't think I've ever not sent an invoice. But in the event that things get crazy and I'm not able to, it's still your responsibility to pay for that session at least one day in advance. And again, the Venmo information is on the website. If you have any issues on Venmo or paying through Venmo, let me know and we'll find an alternate way. But that is the primary way that you pay for the session. If you are more than 5 minutes late to the session, you will have missed the session and cannot receive a refund. I tried to be lenient on this, but it's just not working because I tutor back to back to back and I want to be respectful of everybody else's time. So if you are more than 5 minutes late, that's your grace period. You will have lost that session and you will have lost your money for the session, unfortunately. So let's see what else. In the event that we cannot connect due to technological issues, the session can be rescheduled or you may choose to have your money refunded. No problem with that at all. If we can't connect due to circumstances outside of our control, then you will get your money back. Or we can reschedule the session, whichever one you want to do. All sessions will be done via Google Hangouts. Please remember that because people ask me all the time and it's on the website, it's in the video. Google Hangouts is the only way that we can do a session. I don't have Skype on my tutoring laptop that I use as a Chromebook, and so Chrome doesn't allow me to download Skype, and that's why we use Google Hangouts. So make sure that you have connected with me to let me know if you are able to connect on Google Hangouts or if you have any problems with downloading it. A lot of times I can send you a link to join the session if you can't get on. But that's the primary way that's the only way that we connect here is using Google Hangouts. Let's see what else. When you have your initial session, the first session, we normally do introductions between ourselves. I answer any questions you have about me. I ask you about your work experience in the field because that can impact the way that you answer the questions on the exam. I will also ask you, just what your learning style is, your past experience with the exam, any questions that you have about the exam, and then we do a review of the rationales. And that's what tutoring with me is about. I don't focus on content because I feel like you're paying for a service, and I don't focus on content because I feel like that's a waste of your money because you are a master's degree holder and you can study on your own independently. So my approach is not to focus on the content. My approach is to focus on the strategy and how to answer the questions. So that's what I do. I don't go over content. I mean, we can talk about content if you need to, but I don't do just a session of content only because I focus on strategy. Other people might focus on the content, but I just feel like if you're going to pay for something, pay to learn how to answer the questions and how to approach the questions and that kind of thing. And you can study content on your own. And then we will do a review of the rationale and answer questions for the next session, or answer questions that you have about the next session, schedule the next session. So in 2018, the only time frame that I will have is 1 hour and 15 minutes because looking at everything over this last year, that seems to be the most conducive. So in any sessions after the initial session, we will jump right into the question, answers, logics, rationales, and that kind of thing. And about 10 minutes prior to the end of the session, we will stop and go over any questions that you have. We will go over questions that you have and scheduling the next session. So everybody's session will be 1 hour and 15 minutes. I don't plan on doing any 2-hour sessions unless for some reason somebody has a dire need right before their exam and they just found me and that kind of thing, and we'll work that out if that comes about. But we can't go over the 1 hour and 15 minutes because I'm specifically setting this up where it will work based off of what has gone on this year. Of course, the rate now is $65 for the 1 hour and 15 minutes. Again, we cannot go over the times, and that's why we will stop 10 minutes prior to ask and answer any questions so that we can be fair to the next person. Let's see what else. All that we've gone over. If I don't receive your payment by the day before, then I'll assume that you decided not to attend the session and book someone else in your spot. That's happened before. This means that if you miss the scheduled session or are late past the 5-minute grace period, you will not get your money back. Venmo is the method of payment. We talked about all that. My Venmo link is on the website. It's www.venmo.com/Ashley-Harp-3, and that's the number 3. Again, if you have any issues with Venmo, let me know in advance and we can find an alternate way for you to pay. Sessions are informal and laid back, so if you have a child, a spouse, a significant other, a pet, or whatever, you need to take a phone call in the background, that's fine. But just be mindful that we are still on a time limit and that someone is more than likely after you, and I have to end the session at the 1 hour 15-minute mark. If you want to verify that I am a licensed master's social worker, you can confirm my status on the license and the labor and license regulations or whatever. That link is on the website as well under the tutoring tab. All you have to do is go on that website. When you get to the site, you go to the drop down menu and select social worker. You type in my first and last name, which is Ashley Harp, my license number, which is 11472, and my city is Greenville in South Carolina. They'll ask you to enter a code that verifies that you're not a robot, and then my name will pop up. You click on it and it'll show you that I'm active and that kind of thing. Please, please, please note that even though I go above and beyond to help you understand the rationales and the logics and the approaches and the strategies to this exam, there is no 100% guarantee that tutoring with me will cause you to pass the exam. So I just want to make that clear. Tutoring with me does not give you a guarantee that you're going to pass the exam. Nobody should be making you that promise, because once you get on the computer, it's you and the exam and nobody else. So, but I do go above and beyond to help you understand everything and to help you think the way the test writer wants you to think. This exam does not define you as a social worker. You will be the same social worker when you leave out after passing or failing that you were before you walked in. So the only thing that makes us better social workers is continuing to gain experience, continuing to practice in the field, continuing to get our CEUs and professional development, staying up to date on what's current in the social work field and that kind of thing. Of course, you know, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff is on the website to connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube. I don't really do social media for day-to-day social work, but I am on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to connect that way too, I'm fine with that, because we are colleagues and we should stay in touch in case we ever need anything from one another, because I need y'all just as much as you may need me to help you pass the exam. Once you pass the exam, I would really appreciate a video testimonial to put on the YouTube website to welcome you to the L Club. Most people do a video testimonial, but some people aren't. You know, some people are camera shy and they just want to do a written testimonial, and I'll make the video and put it on the website. So, but I would like to formally welcome you to the L Club when you pass the exam. And the L Club basically is you passing the license exam and becoming a part of a network of professionals all over the country, because I do tutor people from different coasts, different regions, different states, and just being able to reach out to people to support one another through this exam is what the L Club is. I've had people to ask me to connect them with certain people whose testimonial they've seen on the YouTube channel, and those people are okay with reaching out to people who are still studying for the exam and just giving them extra encouragement and advice on how to pass the exam. And you know, it's just good to connect. So that's what the L Club is. Essentially, is you becoming a licensed social worker. and being a part of a network of other licensed social workers around the country. Let's see if there's anything else. So I mean, that's pretty much it there. Now I do want to just check off some things on my to-do list here. I do want to make clear that I do not make up these questions. I either buy them or get them from some other reputable resource, and I'll always send you the answers and rationales at the end of the session, and so that you can go over them during your free time. But I don't make them up because I'm not qualified to do so. During the tutoring session, we will go over every single question, every single answer choice, all the rationales, and I tend to like really drill everything in. So if you get it, just stop me and say, all right, I get it, because I will make sure you get your money's worth. Let's see, we read the questions out loud, and that's just because I want to make sure that we understand what is being said in the question. And sometimes people mistake one word for another and get the whole entire question wrong based off that. So we read them out loud. The reason I ask you about your work experience, because like I said, a lot of people fail this exam because of anxiety, number one, but then also because they answer the questions based on what they would do in real life, and we can't do that. So a lot of people fail on indirect and direct practice, which of course is going to be named something else in 2018, but essentially the same thing. They miss and they score the lowest in indirect and direct practice, and I believe that's because they answer the questions based on what they would do in real life. So I always ask you about your work experience, because I want to know, have you had years of case management where you work one-on-one with people and you answer the choices based on what you would do in work? So I try to help you turn that perspective around and answer the questions the way that the test writer wants you to answer them. Another thing, I don't really tutor for the LCSW. I tutor for the LMSW, which is different, called something different in different states. But the LMSW in South Carolina is the exam that you take after you've earned your master's degree, and now you're going for your license after your master's degree. So the exam after that I have never taken, and I don't like tutoring for that level of the exam because I've never taken it. But I have tutored about 4 or 5 people for that exam because they just feel comfortable with it. And I would say, I think I've tutored 5 people. 3 of them have taken their exam. 1 of them failed, 2 of them passed, and the other 2 I'm currently tutoring. But again, I just don't really like tutoring for that exam because I hadn't sat for it before. But if you're fine with it, then it's okay with me. I mentioned that I tutor in different states. New York primarily. Texas is another one that I tutor a lot of people in. Those are my 2 main states, New York and Texas. I've tutored people in Rhode Island, Michigan, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Illinois, Alabama, Hawaii, Mississippi, Kentucky, Nevada, a lot of different places around the country. So that's pretty much it. Let me make sure. I know this is a long video. Talked about that. Again, I just want to make clear that most people tutor between 4 to 6 weeks. 4 weeks if you're going to do it consecutively. 6 weeks if you want to kind of skip around and do tutoring every 2 weeks or so. So I always ask you for your exam date for that reason, just because there are certain questions that I want to send you during certain times of our tutoring together, and there are some points that I want to send to you right before your exam. So that's why I asked for the exam date. You do not have to share your exam date with me, because I understand that it puts pressure on people to let people know when they're taking the exam. But as your tutor, and I don't know all the people that you know, I'm not going to tell your exam date. But I do think it's important for me to know, or at least have a time frame of when you're going to take the exam, so that we can be effective with tutoring and that you will be able to save money, because we don't need to tutor. If your exam is in April, we don't need to start in January. Like, we only need to tutor 4 to 6 weeks out from your exam date. So that's why I ask your exam date. It's not just to be nosy, and I do respect the fact if you don't want to tell me your exam date. The last thing here on this list is just that, you know, everything is first come, first serve when it comes to booking tutoring sessions, but I do like to make sure that everyone gets a fair chance at having a session. So you can't book a session 3 weeks out because I don't know my schedule. And if a week is empty at the time where you want to book your session, you can't book, you know, every single day of that week, because it's not fair for everybody else who haven't gotten a chance to schedule their session yet. So no hogging sessions is what I call it. You know, I don't mind tutoring with you twice out of the week, but if you want to tutor 3 and 4 days out of the week, or 2 and 3 and 4 sessions out of the week, it's just not fair to everybody else because it takes up the time. So any questions, just email me, leave a comment in the comment box. And I appreciate you trusting me to help you pass the exam. And we are a team. Let's do this together. I look forward to a successful 2018 and growth. So if you've already passed the exam, congratulations. If you're still studying, your time is near. So I will see you all in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.